You wake up gasping, your heart is pounding. You were just flying over a city that doesn't exist, talking to someone who died years ago, running from something with no face. It felt more real than your alarm clock. And by the time you brushed your teeth, it's gone, not faded, gone, like it was never there at all. You tell yourself you'll remember it later. You never do. Here's the strange part. Your brain didn't lose that dream by accident. It erased it on purpose. Every single night your mind builds entire worlds, populates them with people, gives you emotions so intense you wake up crying or sweating or laughing, and then it deletes almost all of it before your eyes even open. 90% of it gone within minutes. The rest fades within the hour. Why would your brain work that hard to build something only to destroy it? For most of human history, people assumed dreams were messages. Ancient Egyptians believed dreams came from the gods. Greek soldiers consulted dream interpreters before battle. Entire civilizations built temples where people slept just to receive visions. The dream was sacred. It was supposed to be remembered, studied, obeyed. So why does the modern brain seem so determined to throw it away? The answer starts with a man named J. Allen Hobson, a psychiatrist at Harvard, who spent decades studying what actually happens inside your skull while you sleep. Hobson discovered that during a stage called REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, your brainstem fires off random electrical signals almost like popcorn popping in the dark. Your cortex, the part of you that thinks and reasons, scrambles to make sense of that noise. It grabs fragments, memories, fears, faces, and stitches them into a story. That story is your dream. It isn't a message from beyond. It's your brain doing improv with garbage data and doing it so well you believe it completely while it's happening. But here's the part that should stop you cold. If dreaming is just noise dressed up as narrative, why does it feel so emotionally overwhelming? Why do you wake up shaking? That's where a researcher named Rosalind Cartwright comes in. Cartwright spent her career studying dreams in sleep labs, waking people up at precise moments to ask what they'd just experienced. She found something remarkable. Dreams aren't random emotional chaos. They're often your brain's way of processing the exact thing that hurt you that day. A fight with your partner, a fear you haven't spoken out loud, grief you haven't let yourself feel while awake. Cartwright's research suggested that dreaming is a form of emotional editing, a private workshop where your mind rehearses pain in a space where nothing can actually hurt you. Think about that. Every night, your brain might be quietly trying to help you survive your own life. So if dreams are doing something this important, why erase them? This is where it gets stranger. A neuroscientist named Francesca Ciclari, working with sleep researchers in Switzerland, used brain scans to pinpoint exactly what's happening in your skull during a dream. She found that the parts of your brain responsible for storing new long-term memories, particularly a region called the hippocampus, go quiet during REM sleep. Your brain is actively directing resources away from memory formation while you dream. It's not forgetting the dream later. It's barely recording it in the first place. Picture a security camera that's technically running, but someone unplugged the recorder. The footage plays. It's just never saved. Now here's the twist that changes everything. Some scientists believe this isn't a flaw. It's the entire point. A sleep researcher named Matthew Walker, who has spent years studying the relationship between sleep and mental health, proposes that your brain deliberately avoids saving dream content because remembering it in detail could be dangerous. Imagine if every disturbing, bizarre, emotionally raw scenario your mind invented at night stuck with you as clearly as your actual memories. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between something that really happened and something your brain fabricated while processing stress. Your sense of reality would blur. Forgetting the dream isn't a bug in the system. It's a safety mechanism protecting the line between what's real and what your mind made up to cope. Your brain isn't failing to remember, it's choosing not to, on purpose every single night for your own protection. But there's another piece to this puzzle, and it involves a chemical you've never thought about before. During REM sleep, your brain dramatically reduces its production of a molecule called norepinephrine. Norepinephrine is closely tied to attention and memory consolidation while you're awake. It's part of what makes a stressful moment stick in your mind so vividly, why you can recall exactly where you were during a car accident or a phone call with bad news. Your brain floods you with it when something matters enough to remember. During dreaming, that chemical nearly disappears. Your brain is quite literally choosing not to tag the experience as something worth keeping. So every dream you've ever had was engineered from the very first second to be forgotten. This raises an uncomfortable question. If your brain works this hard to erase dreams, what does it mean when you do remember one? Why do certain dreams survive the purge? Sleep scientists have found that dreams you remember are usually the ones you wake up during or right after. If you sleep straight through a dream and move into deeper sleep, it's essentially deleted before it can be stored anywhere permanent. But if something interrupts you mid-dream, a noise, a movement, your alarm going off at the wrong moment, your brain gets a narrow window to shove that fragment into short-term memory before it evaporates. That's why the dreams you do remember often feel unfinished, cut off mid-scene, like a television show that lost power halfway through an episode. You're not remembering the whole dream. You're remembering the fragment your brain didn't manage to erase in time. This changes the way you should think about every dream you've ever tried to interpret. It was never a complete message. It was leftover debris from a nightly process built specifically to leave nothing behind. Now think about what this means for your ancestors, the people who built temples around dreams, who believed a nightmare was a warning from the spirit world. They weren't foolish. They were working with the same brain you have. Fragmented, emotionally charged, half-erased visions that felt unbearably significant. Without the tools to understand REM sleep or norepinephrine or hippocampal activity, the only explanation available to them was that something outside themselves must be speaking. It's a strangely comforting thought. Humans have always been having the same disorienting experience. Only the explanation has changed. And this brings you back to your own life, tonight when you go to sleep. Somewhere between falling asleep and your alarm going off, your brain is going to build you an entire world. It will give you fear you don't choose, joy you don't expect, conversations with people who may not even exist anymore. It will make you believe completely in something that was never real. And then, almost immediately, it will start deleting the evidence. Not because the experience didn't matter, because your brain has decided quietly and without asking your permission that you're better off without the full memory of it. You woke up gasping this morning, your heart was pounding, and within minutes, your own mind made sure you'd never fully know why.